Okay, today we have a quick basic video on how to play Leviathans via Tabletop Simulator. This assumes that you've already purchased and downloaded and installed the base game and subscribed to the individual module. So first thing many people want to know is how to turn off the terrible menu music, and that will be settings, sound, main menu volume. Set it to 0. To actually play the game, you're going to want to go to Create, Single Player, and then under the Workshops tab, you should see Leviathans Improved. Go ahead and click that, click Load, wait for everything to come in. So you'll see this board, we got the map, some empty space, and then all the stuff up here. So there are decks for each of the ship cards of each of the major nations, the upcoming nations, and then one of miscellaneous, which is the campaign stuff. And here we've got plane cards, captain cards, admiral cards. We do not have the generic admirals yet, so they are in a separate little bag here. Got all your plane tokens, and as a reminder, green's on one side, veteran is on the other. Round counter, initiative token. Got your torpedo tokens here. Test the coil token. These are stated, so if you right click and go state, you can just make it to 2 or 3 or 4, and you can do the same thing by mousing over it and pressing 1, 2, 3, or 4 on your keyboard. Full stop, offensive screening tokens, spotter tokens. You can resize these tokens if you have one out by holding your mouse over it and holding minus or plus. Up here we've got some control points, mountain tops and mountain hexes if you want to use them for the aesthetics, individual light and heavy cloud hexes if you want to use them for something, and the rules for light and cloud hexes, you can either right click on it to look at the description, or if you hold your mouse over it, it'll pop up as well. The actual fully formed cloud tokens are up in here. Just grab one, pull it out. And if you're doing campaign play or just want to use them otherwise, we have anti-Leviathan gun tokens and mine tokens. Flip them over to be the hidden state, and it's like, oh, that one's not a mine, that one is a mine. So one of the, for the dice, you got dice bags over here. If you click and drag, you'll pull something out of a bag. If you hold left click and right click a number of times, you'll pull that many things out. You can also use that to multi-pick up. So left click, hover over something else, right click, and now you've grabbed all of those. Best way to roll dice is just drag a selection box around all of them and tap R a couple times. It's going to be the least problematic. And then if you drag a box around the dice results, you can mouse over it and get a total. Just make sure not to include the slot die. We have reference sheets here for fire arcs, torpedo arcs, got one for turn order, and then the PDF for the official points documents. These are unlocked, so you can just click to pick them up, move them around. Also right-click, clone, and then click if you want to make a new one. To stop cloning, hit right-click. You can also just mouse over it and do Control-C, Control-V. That will get you one as well. But of course, you want to put together your fleet list. So generally, it's easiest to do that in a squad builder or using the spreadsheet, but of course you can do it here. You right-click search on one of the decks, you'll get a list of all the cards. You mouse over it, it'll pop up, you can get a little better view, but generally it's going to be easier just to pull it out of here onto the table. So let's put together we have the Medusa, let's grab, I don't know, Prometheus, have a cruiser, the ever-popular Beagle, and I don't know, Belfast. If you mouse over a card, you can use Q and E to rotate it, whether or not you are holding it. I can pick it up, move it around, rotate it in my hand, drop it. So I got the cards out. Next thing you're going to want is the ships, which are in these bags. Same sort of thing. You can do right-click search, type in, I want the Medusa, Prometheus, Eagle, Belfast. Those line up nicely. Now, if you want to draw on the cards for record keeping, you have to make sure they're locked. TTS only lets you draw on locked objects. So if you right-click on it, you can go to Toggles and click Lock, or you can just mouse over something and hit L. Just be careful when you're using L that you are moused over the actual thing that you are intending to lock. Unlock all of these for now. We have counters in this bag, which we generally use just as an easier way to track structural integrity. A couple copies of these. Just put them up in the corner. You can use plus and minus, clear to zero it out. Or easier way is if you click in here, you'll get a cursor, and you can just type in the numbers. If you don't like that leading zero when that happens, just increment it up or down. Alright, then let's say, I don't know, we want plane. So we'll grab one. Again, same thing, you can do right-click search. Do, I don't know, I want a torpedo bomber. Grab one of those. And we'll grab a token for it so that we have that ready to go. And I don't know, we'll just grab an admiral off the top, which happens to be British anyway. Huzzah. Master of weapons. Now that you have everything laid out that you want, maybe I'll add some torpedoes to this too, because I just want the tokens there ready to go in case I need them. There. So that should be everything I need to play the game. Now, if you're going to do a tournament or something, or you expect to use this list more than once, I highly recommend saving it. To do that, you're going to want to drag the selection box around everything, right-click on one of the objects, and go Save Object. You get multiple folders, you can put it in a different one, or just in the root is fine as well, and then give it a name. And save. Now, if you want to load that list, so if I were to reload the module, I'm like, oh, I want to bring out that list. You go up here to top, under Objects, Saved Objects, and then you can just search for it. Ooh, British Tournament List. And you'll see that this is where it's going to place it, and you just want to click, and it's down. And you can go straight into playing then. Speaking of playing, the map is also stated, so again, you can do right-click state, and it will tell you text-wise the name of each map in each state. You can just click on one to bring it up, or you can just have your mouse over the map and press the number keys. Numpad doesn't work, just the regular number keys. If you want, say, 12, just hit 1, then 2, and it'll go to that. If you hit 5, you can hit 5, and it'll take a moment just to make sure you're not going to, do a double or triple digit state input. Bam, there's the map. Another super useful thing is up here in the left, we've got draw. You take a line, you can draw on the map. Now these aren't terribly useful, so we're just going to go ahead and erase those. And if I go back to draw, plus and minus will change the size of your draw tool, so you can see a little bead there getting bigger. That's something more usable. Now I can draw lines. Whether I want to use those for fire arcs or the range of an enemy ship, so I don't need to count it out every time I'm wondering what it was and forgot. There you go. You can do the eraser and then wave over a line to get rid of it, or the trash can will delete all lines. Not just yours, everybody's lines, so be careful with that. Another useful thing is the measuring tool. So if you hold tab, you can measure distances. Now notice that if I go in between the hex rows, it's measuring an absolute distance, not actual hex distance. So you would need, if you have, say, 2 ships out here, doing something like that, you can't just go like that and get the distance. You'd have to do it in 2 legs. 2 plus 4, range is 6. Another thing I typically do is if I have a ship out, I will make a clone of it, stick it on top, and then I have the original ship position to remind me where it was as I'm trying to figure out my movement. And then I'm like, oh, that's where I want to go. I'll pull the original off, and bam, that ship's movement is done. Oh, since I forgot to go over it, for the measuring tool, if yours doesn't behave this way, you've got the line tool over here you can mouse over, and then you can click these circles to change the settings. You're going to want grid, that'll make it measure in hexagons. 2D is typically what we want for our purposes. Auto usually works best. Center will make it snap to the center of the hexes. And then generally you don't need logging, that would make the result of what you measured show up down in the text log. And I think that covers all of the basics. I will also point out that up here in the corner we have some old playtest cards. You got 2 decks, one for the Japanese and one for the Americans. These are obviously out of date, but they're there if you wish to try to use them. Well, when you're ready to actually play a game with someone, you're going to want to go to the main menu, click Create, and then do Multiplayer instead of Single Player. Name your server something that you like. I typically do public and then put a password. And then go Create Server. Same thing with making a single player. Under Workshop, find your improved Leviathans. If you got too many things, you can do a search, load, you're going to get the same table, except now it's multiplayer and somebody else can join. Up on the top right, you can click your name, change color. Black is Game Master, gray is Spectator, which doesn't let you interact with the board, but all the other colors, just pick one that you like. That's also going to be the color of the lines you draw. And then somebody else can either search for your server at the main menu, or you can do invites through Steam, etc., etc. I think that's all I got. The end.